Hey, what's up, guys? Justin with Tier 1 Tactical. Today we're going to talk a little bit about front flippers and where do we draw the line between fidget and functionality. I am a huge fan of the front flipper and just the deployment method as a whole. The thing is, I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while now, but I've had a lot of stuff loaned out, a lot being front flippers, and I haven't had a whole lot all together in one spot to be able to make the video. Not the way I wanted it, but I think I have enough here to kind of get my point through and let you guys know all the things that I like and dislike about the front flipper. Now, this video is strictly my opinion, and I don't expect everybody to share it. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments, but this is just basically my personal experiences with the front flipper and what I think can either make or break a good front flipper design. Now, this is the React Bushido. This is my favorite front flipper to date, and I actually just scored this roughly around a month ago thanks to Crane's Cutlery, which I'm so glad I did because I found out there's only like 34 of these made in the world in the hand-rub version. Now, if you look real closely, you can see the flipper tab actually rolls over the top of the blade, which makes it really easily deployable. You can see there are no obstructions there, and it flips quite nicely. Now, I will admit the length of the blade has a lot to do with how well a front flipper can flip, and that is my experience with them. Look, this knife right here is the Civivi X-Arch. You can see the flipper tab does not roll over, but it does stick up quite a bit right there, which also makes it quite easily to deploy. Now, if this was a frame lock, it being as skinny as it is, my finger would be pushing up against that lock bar, causing it to hang up a little bit. Now, when a knife hangs up, specifically a front flipper, it can fly out of your hand and hit the ground. Now, when you're dealing with a knife, say like the Wee Shamari, now, you don't want this flying out of your hand. This is an expensive knife, and they go for right around $500, give or take where you find them. But look, you could pay anywhere from $350 to $500 for this, and you definitely don't want to be dropping it. Now, there's a lot of things I love about this knife. The sleek design, the oversized pivot collar with the matching standoffs, the way they did the clip. I mean, it's a beautiful knife, but I cannot flip this thing to save my life. You can see right here. Look. I cannot get it. There we go. I felt it that time. And part of the reason for that is I'm so used to flipping this Bushido where it doesn't take hardly anything to just roll over and flip it. But this guy right here, you have to be very deliberate in your flip. And the jimping actually rolls over the edge right there. And anybody who's ever had any experience with jimping that goes around a corner, it usually tends to be a lot sharper because it's separated more. Now, the same thing goes with the Sig Mckenna. You can actually see it has a little bit more of a flipper tab there, but the jimping is the same. As it goes over that little hump right there, it gets a lot sharper. And if you fidget with this thing, chances are you're going to tear your thumb up. As you can see from my bandage, bandage hasn't lasted long. And I just put this thing on before I filmed the video so I wouldn't be bleeding all over the knives. But yeah, I actually split my thumb back open trying to flip the Shamwari earlier. Now, this here is the BRS Evolve Fragment, which I really, really like. It's basically a front flipper, but it kind of has a friction folder kind of look. Of course, it is a frame lock, but it front flips really, really easily. If I worked in a mailroom or cutting down boxes for a living, this would 100% be my knife. It almost has a gentleman-esque kind of feel, but more utility purpose driven. Next up here are the Damn Designs Gin. You can see the flipper tab is much like the Bushido, which I really, really like. Now, I have noticed on the frame lock version, if I do have my finger on that lock bar, it does hang up a little bit, but, being the size and the way they did the clip, you can really keep your finger out the way quite easily. Now, you do not have that on the liner lock design, which there's no obstructions, nothing you have to worry about gripping or anything like that. You just roll with it. And I really, really like that about this one. This one has a D2 blade and this one has a S35VN blade, which, to be honest, I cannot tell the difference when putting them on my ceramic rods. I have this custom set of ceramic rods that cost a lot of money. And honestly, I can feel the different blade steels and the way they glide across that rod. Now the thing is, they both just skate right across it, so whoever did the heat treat completely knocked it out of the park. Last but not least, we have the steel wheel Scylla, which if you look really closely, you can see that flipper tab is quite deliberate. There is no missing this thing. Now, if you are looking for an entry-level knife into the front flipper game and don't want to break the bank, 100% this is your knife. You could take this bad boy to work and not have to worry about it failing on you. Not to mention failing on the deployment. Even if you got grit and grime all over your hands, there's no missing that flipper tab. I absolutely love what Steel Wheel has done, and I cannot wait to see what else they come up with. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Check me out on Instagram for much more. Stay safe. See you guys on the next one.